Ravens flock, y'all know what time it is. When I wear the jersey, y'all know I'm talking about the Ravens. And let me just say this. It's a wonderful time to be a Ravens fan. There is so much hope surrounding this team and this franchise. We are championship contenders, man. We're legit Super Bowl contenders. We could go out and win the Super Bowl next season, hoping and praying for that, but we really have the talent around us to be able to pull that off. We're one of the best teams in the league. This is a wonderful time, man. This reminds me of the old days, back when I was a child, growing up watching this Ray Lewis defense do what they do, man. It's just, I love it. I love it. There's so much positivity and hope that this Ravens team is bringing to Baltimore. Just plenty of hope. Because back then, you just wanted to see what that Ravens defense was going to do. You wanted to see if they were going to be able to dominate their opponent. And they went out there and they did it. That's what made them great. Now, standing here in 2020, it's the opposite. We're seeing that on the offensive side now. You're looking at Lamar Jackson, MVP quarterback, franchise player, leader of the team. You want to see how great he can become. You want to see how much he improves. You want to see him take this team to a championship. You want to see him game by game by game go out there and do what he do. You want to see him break ankles. You want to see him throw touchdown passes. You want to see him run the football. You want to see him do everything. It's fantastic being a Ravens fan right now because there's so much hope, especially when you're a Super Bowl contender. But with being a Super Bowl contender comes the pressure and expectations. Now, it's not like last season where everyone overrode us and put us third in the division. Now, we're expected to win our division. We're expected to compete for a championship. So every single opponent our team faces off with this upcoming season is going to give us their A game. They're going to give us everything they have because they want to beat us. If they can beat us, it shows that they have a great shot to make it to the Super Bowl. It shows just how much they've improved. If a team that faced off with us last season or didn't get to face off with us that is trying to prove themselves, if they have an opportunity to beat us and they do, it shows that they've made so much progress and they're just one step closer to truly being one of the best teams in the league. So every opponent you face off with next season is going to give you their A game. And in order to be able to compete with them, you got to go out there and give them your A game and play at your very best. And it starts from here. The building blocks and the foundation of becoming a great team. You got to put work on it. You got to put work. You got to work on it. And it starts right now. We already know what's going down in Florida next week. Our main man, our quarterback, Lamar Jackson, is hosting a workout with some of his fellow Ravens players. We know Hollywood Brown is going to be there. We know Mark Ingram's going to be there. We expect Willie Snead to be there because he also lives in Florida and worked out with Lamar Jackson last season, so we'll see if he's there, but I expect him to be there. But one guy we wanted to be there, but he doesn't live in Florida. One guy we certainly wanted to be there, Miles Boykin, because he was in Baltimore at the time. When we heard about this last week, he was in Baltimore. When we were seeing Lamar Jackson do one-on-one workouts with Hollywood Brown, Boykin was in Baltimore working with Trace McSorley. So everyone wanted to know, is Boykin going to get out there to work with Lamar Jackson? Is he going to have any opportunity to work with Lamar Jackson before training camp? We wanted him to have that opportunity to do so because we have faith and confidence that Boykin can take that next step and become a great receiver and show how much he's progressed from year 1 to year 2. We know he has the ability to do so. But it starts with building chemistry with his quarterback. So we wanted him to be able to go down to Florida. And I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, our hopes have been answered because Miles Boykin told us yesterday in his interview that he is heading to Florida to work out with Lamar Jackson. A lot of stuff is surrounding this workout. First of all, it's not just going to be the 5 other players I've named. It seems like quite the amount of Ravens are showing up to this workout. So it should be a lot. I'm assuming most, if not all, of the offense, in terms of weapons, most if not all the offense is going to be there at this workout. You might get a couple defensive players. I don't know how big this thing is going to be. It seems to be a sizable amount, but who knows how many people are going to show up. We also don't know what exactly are these workouts going to contain. As far as the receivers practicing routes with Lamar Jackson, what is this workout going to be like? Miles Boykin himself even said he doesn't know exactly everything about this workout. He knows they're going to work on route running and stuff like that, and building chemistry with Lamar, but he doesn't know exactly what this whole workout's going to be about. Last thing is that this is not the only workout that is planned. Lamar has other workouts planned in the coming days and weeks, so it's possible that, all these Ravens players that are going out there, they could be working out with Lamar Jackson multiple times within the next month, following up to next month or two, leading up to training camp in July. So we'll see how this goes. We'll get more information as we approach next week, most likely. So we'll see how that situation's handled. But if quite the amount of Ravens players are showing up, I'll say this. We already know the individuals that we expect to come, but a few individuals I also expect to be there, or at least hope to be there. Mark Andrews, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, and most importantly, these three: J.K. Dobbins, Devin Duvernay, James Prochet. I really hope these guys are at Lamar Jackson's workout next week, because if they're there, this could do so much for them when it comes to just building that chemistry with Lamar Jackson, because they're already in a difficult situation. When you're in your rookie season, OTAs, like, first of all, rookie minicamp and OTAs do so much for the rookies. But because of the whole situation we're dealing with in the world right now, they weren't able to really have those both rookie minicamp and OTAs. They didn't get to have it properly. So they haven't had any opportunities to really do those workouts or even get to work out with Lamar Jackson or have any route running or passes thrown to them by Lamar Jackson. So they have had nothing so far. If they get to go to this workout, this could do wonders for them in terms of preparing them for what's to come in training camp. This could seriously help them out. And if it's not just one workout, if it's multiple workouts like what we're hearing, this is really going to help them build an early connection with Lamar Jackson. This could really help. It could help J.K. Dobbins with the run game, as well as when he goes out in the backfield and it helps out with the passing game. It could certainly help build that connection with Devin Duvernay and James Prochet to be able to build that chemistry with Lamar Jackson. And, if they can build that early on, they'll definitely be able to see the field more often when we get to the regular season. So this definitely helps them. If they're going to show up, I don't know if they're coming or not. I'm just hoping. But if they do show up, this is going to be a big thing for them, and it's going to be a huge help for them. Man, this whole workout, I'm just glad to hear this is happening. Even if the players I all just named don't show up, I'm just glad to see Lamar Jackson working out with some of his receivers. Because, man, we've longed to see our quarterback work out with his receivers. When Flacco was still our quarterback, there was only 2 times he actually spent an offseason working out with his receivers. One was early on in his career. The second one happened his final season in Baltimore. And a lot of assumptions were made. The reason he actually hosted those workouts with his players was because Lamar Jackson got drafted. He was there to take his job. So obviously, Joe Flacco wanted to be, prepared and better equipped to build that chemistry a lot faster with his receivers so that the upcoming season he can do well. But we already know how that situation turned out. But yeah, man, just seeing Lamar this early in his career willing to put in the work and just focusing on improving on everything, not just improving on being a better player or being a better passer, but being a better leader, because he's the leader of this offense. He's the leader, so he has to have chemistry with everybody on the field, especially when it comes to his weapons. He has to have that chemistry. He has to have that trust. And you build that trust and chemistry by constantly working with them, working on those routes, working on those timings. And being able to host workouts like this early on gives him the opportunity to start building those relationships with them, especially with the rookies. This could, if Devin Duvernay and James Prochet actually do go to this workout, man, this could do wonders for how much chemistry these guys are able to build. And we may end up seeing how much they've built between these workouts and training camp when we actually do get to training camp. So yeah, it's great to see Lamar Jackson at this early of a stage wanting to put in that work to become great. That's what you want your young quarterback to do. You want your young quarterback to go out there and work with his receivers so that he can not only improve himself, but also build that chemistry and trust with his receivers. It's a great thing to see right now. If you're a Ravens fan, you gotta love hearing that your quarterback is out there planning workout sessions and is planning to work with his receivers. We don't know how many are gonna show up, but we know he's going to work with his receivers. And we all know Lamar Jackson, he's heading into year 3. He can only get better. He can really only get better. He managed to win the MVP last season, but he did that with one of the worst receiving crew in the league. You know, he had one of the worst receiving units. If you look at it, he had one of the worst receiving units, yet he was still able to win the MVP. So if he continues to improve from year 2 to year 3 as a passer the way I expect him to, and you give him more weapons, this offense is gonna be, whoa, man, this offense is gonna be something special. And I'm glad to see he's willing to put in that work and is making an effort to get his guys out there and work with him and build that chemistry and build that trust and build that timing. Fantastic. I love hearing about this. But yeah, I love hearing about this. That's really all I got, man. I'm so glad Lamar's our quarterback. This is why we love Lamar, man. He's always trying to put in the work to improve on everything. Thanks for following football. But he's just willing to put that work in to improve on every single aspect of his game, as well as improve as a leader. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's all I gotta say. I cannot wait until that workout happens next week so we can see. Hopefully we get to see a couple of clips come out of them working out, and we get to hear more information about that. If there is more workout sessions planned, we'll find out. But we're hearing about some speculations about that right now. We'll see. But that's all I got, and I'm out of here. Peace!